So I have spent a lot of time in Baldur's Gate 3, about 90 hours now, playing through early access on two characters. One that romanced the hell out of Gale, and one bad girl that did all of the chaotic, we're not your errand runners stuff to win over Astarion. After all of that, I've got something really exciting to share. Big warning here, there are a lot of spoilers coming up. There are different levels of spoilers even, and this video is meant mostly for those who have played the game thoroughly and already have seen most of the dialogue and available cutscenes. That said, you've been warned. So, it's no secret that Astarion is a vampire. If you didn't catch on as quickly as I did to his rather sharp canines, he drops lots of hints. Like how he can suddenly walk into a house without being invited when you go into Auntie Ethel's home. The boar you find on the road that's been sucked dry of blood. If the hints weren't enough for you, eventually he will try to bite you in camp when you go to sleep. You can spurn him away and say no, or you can say yes and get access to a nice skill for him, a vampire bite, which is really useful without giving much in exchange, or so it seems. If you spend the night with Astarion at the end of the Tiefling Refugee celebration, you'll get an option to bare your neck to him. He will of course approve, and even though there is currently no video at all for the scene, it's safe to say he bites you again at this point. Given you said yes the first time too, which I did. During the course of your time together, Astarion gives you some background info, and not just himself, but the whole process of becoming a vampire, or in his case a vampire spawn. He is basically a slave to his vampire lord, unable to refuse any commands given by him. He informs you that he is unable to even make new vampires without being a full-fledged vampire himself, and the only way to do this, he says, is for him to drink the blood of his creator, Cazador. But things are weird now. The rules don't seem to apply anymore now that he has been infected with the tadpole. He is suddenly free from his master's control, able to enter houses without permission, and able to walk around in the sunlight. At one point, he claims he is the most powerful vampire in the world, and he may very well be right. What all of this information tells us, though, is that everything we know to be true about vampires may not be true anymore. Sure, Astarion is still hurt by the water, but I'm going to propose that he no longer needs his master's blood to become a true vampire. That he very well may have these powers now because of the tadpole. Oh, but this is all conjecture, you say. Oh, but it's not. There's proof that things are not what they seem to be. The next bit is a big-time spoiler, even for those who have played the game. I played quite a lot before I realized there was actually an end to early access. The last quest you're given in the main storyline is one to make your way to Moonrise Towers. I chose to go through the Underdark, and after doing the story down there with the Druger dwarves, I saw the quest symbol leading me to a nearby skiff. A warning plays telling you it's the end of early access. Are you sure you want to proceed? Now, if you didn't know about this, you should go take the skiff and see it for yourself, and then come back and watch the rest of the video. Just pause. I'll wait. If you don't want to bother and you just want to find out right now, be my guest, but I had to warn you because a lot of friends I spoke with didn't know about the ending. I'm going to include parts of it here, but there's really only one part that is particularly relevant to this video's topic. At the very end of the player character's internal monologue of sorts, provided by the narrator as usual, a very important thing is said.
Amid this flurry of questions, you feel something else deep inside you. A hunger, a lust for blood. Soon.
Holy how cool is that? This completely threw me for a loop and left me grinning ear to ear, dying to see more of this game. Does that mean my character is going to become a vampire? Was Astarion actually able to turn me without even being a full vampire because of the tadpole? How insane is this? Will she end up being a slave as Astarion was to his lord, or will I end up being a free vampire too because I also have a tadpole? What if he can just make endless amounts of vampires just from biting people? It's just crazy. It has my head all aflutter. What I'd really be interested to know as well, and I'll have to check this out on my other character, the one who didn't get freaky with Astarion, is whether or not it happens from the first bite or the second, or if it has to be both bites. It's hard to say in my case because I was bitten twice. Let me know what happens to you when you hit the ending. Did you get the same dialogue? Did you let him bite you once, twice, one but not the other? I'm so curious to know. The one thing that kind of sucks though is wonder if you let him bite you once, like as a friend, and you didn't want to become a vampire. You might be stuck with that choice. I wonder if there will be a way to cure it. How awesome is this, though? I'm really excited about the prospects. I love it when choices have actual consequences. I'm not even used to it anymore. Every game, even follow ups to Dragon Age, have just felt like cleverly hidden, but still linear railways, and, your choices don't really make much of a difference. It's just yes, no, but what does it matter? I never in a million years would have thought giving Astarion a sip of blood when he was weak would mean I might turn into a vampire. What's even better is that I've seen rumors of future companions yet to be released, and one suggested a dwarf werewolf. Imagine if you could become a werewolf as well. The post was deleted, but still it seemed plausible considering they mentioned the tiefling Karlach, who you find north by the river. There is even dialogue to ask her to join you, and she says what amounts to not yet, but maybe later. Even if it's not true, though, that dialogue saying my character had an urge for blood, there is no denying that. She's going to be a vampire. I'm just so excited about it. I mean, talk about a way to ensnare you into the game with the choices you've made and really add an element of RP that just takes it over the edge. You get with a vampire boy and, well, you become a vampire. Can't get much better than that if you ask me. And just think, this is just one character. What else might be available? Oh man, I mean, the possibilities, they're just endless. Now, all there is to do is wait for an update that might add more. Probably looking at least 1 to 2 years for the full game to be ready, but I'm really hoping they allow early access players an inside look quicker than that. Let's say they make it so you can get to 5 even, and maybe add more areas to what you can explore. I will be waiting with bated breath to find out what will happen with my character. How do you feel about this whole thing? Are you as blown away as I am? Are you crazy excited or just so-so? Don't forget to tell me your info on the bites in the comments too. Have fun playing. See you later.
Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing. Now, if you'll excuse me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling.